There was the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and now, thanks to the Industrial Revolution, we are in the parallel twin age, where every motorcycle company is sinking all of their R&D costs into making parallel twin middleweight bikes. What were once considered to be a little boring when using a 180-degree firing order, parallel twin engines are now all the rage. They have a power band more practical and torque-friendly than a 4-cylinder engine of the same size, and are easier to produce with less parts. But not every parallel twin engine is the same, so let's take a look at 7 of the best motorcycles with parallel twin engines available today. The first bike on the list is the Yamaha MT07. You likely know about the MT07 by now, but if you don't, listen up and I'll get you up to speed. The MT07, formerly the FZ07 in North America, is a standard naked motorcycle with a 689cc parallel twin engine. The MT07 is arguably the motorcycle that fired the first shot in the middleweight motorcycle war. The parallel twin engine uses a 270-degree fire order that gives it a nice characterful sound with barks and burbles, not unlike a V-twin engine. The MT07 makes around 75 horsepower and 50 foot-pounds of torque, which comes in at 6,500 RPM. The low mid-range power has been a trademark character of the MT line of motorcycles, striking a perfect middle ground between an ultra-high revving 4-cylinder engine and the torque-forward but low-revving V-twins of yore. The MT07 has an upright seating position, wide flat handlebar, and a short wheelbase, which makes it comfortable to ride around town, or both wheels, or maybe just the back one should the mood strike you. The MT07 is kind of ubiquitous, but it shouldn't be let off this list. And if you prefer the Yamaha R-Bike styling, there's also the R7, which features the same engine, but with race bike styling and riding position and some better features. The MT07 and R7 are awesome platforms for the sort of mature entry-level class that will blow the pants off of a beginner, but still keep them interested for a couple years as their riding skills progress. Great engines, great bikes, and goodbye for sure. Another motorcycle that is near and dear to my heart, as well as the rest of my body because there's one in the shop right now, as it is our newest intermediate bike giveaway, is the Tuono 660 from Aprilia. We've had an RS 660 in the shop previously, and I sang my praises of the bike as being a perfectly balanced middleweight sport bike. It has a fun, pokey engine, aggressive styling, and track-worthy handling. The Tuono 660 is no different. While being dressed in a bit more of a naked bike outfit, cue the smart Alex in the comment section telling me that it has a fairing, the Tuono 660 is no less sporty than the RS. The 659cc parallel twin engine is also using a 270-degree firing order for added auditory charm, and that makes around 100 horsepower and 49 foot-pounds of torque. The Tuono has slightly different gear ratios than the RS 660 as well, which makes it a little bit quicker off the line. While the Tuono 660 and the RS 660 respectively live in the sort of middleweight category, they're really punching above much of the class in terms of power, features, and amenities. The Aprilia Tuono 660 doesn't feel like a stepping stone motorcycle that will be quickly moved on from in the form of a way cheaper components or a lack of cruise control or features. It has a whole suite of tech features like a TFT display, ride modes, traction control, cruise control, and a stand mixer with pasta attachments. And if you're able to cough up a little bit extra cash for the factory version, the trim we currently have in the shop, you also get fully adjustable suspension in the front and rear. For the sporty middleweight category, the Tuono 660 and the RS 660 are pretty hard to beat. And I guess while we're at it, if you want to win this bike, you should become a member over at yamanube.co and get your automatic monthly entries. Seriously, click that link down below. And with the MT07 and the Tuono having a bit of a stranglehold on the middleweight parallel twin segment, I feel like there isn't much sense in having a Triumph Speed Twin on the list. Triumph makes some great sounding and torquey twins, but I feel like for the sake of a diverse selection, it would be better to lean into Triumph's more heritage style motorcycles. Sure, the Speed Twin is a bit faster than the Scrambler or the Bonneville, but if you really want a sportier naked bike, there are better options out there. But the Triumph Scrambler 1200 really strikes a good balance of character and heritage with modern components and build quality. The Scrambler 1200 has a 1200cc parallel twin that makes 89 horsepower and 81 foot-pounds of torque. I feel like it has a similar same sort of torque and horsepower ratio as a Sportster 1200, but scaled up in an entirely better package. The Scrambler 1200 has fully adjustable long travel Showa forks in the front and Olin shocks in the rear. This bike also features Brembo brakes, LED lighting, which contribute to the feeling that the Triumph Scrambler is really a complete package. Styling-wise, this motorcycle hits the modern retro Scrambler look on the head. It sits pretty tall on 17 and 21-inch wheels and an overall 33-inch seat height. The seat is long and flat, which allows the rider to shimmy around in the cockpit as they lean and counterbalance on some rocky obstacles. The flat handlebar and upswept exhaust also contribute to the Scrambler motif of this motorcycle. And it doesn't just look cool and retro. The Scrambler 1200 has proven to be pretty capable on some dirt and gravel roads, thanks in parts to its dual-purpose tires and switchable ABS. The Scrambler 1200 demands a pretty penny, coming in just shy of 15 grand, but it's definitely one of the best modern Scramblers rocking a parallel twin engine. But guys, it's never too early to start preparing for the riding season, so we're doing another pop-up giveaway. This time though, I want to help you stay connected. We're giving away the Cardo Pack Talk Bold communicator system. Complete with JBL speakers, it helps keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the bars so you can stay connected on any adventure. Whether you're riding along with a buddy in a group of 4 or a pack of 15, enjoy the highest quality long-distance reception a motorcycle communication system can offer. Now you can queue up Hayabusa Man and Kyle Anthem on permanent loop with the all-new natural voice operation feature. You'll never have to press a button, turn a wheel, or move a slider ever again. Just say, "Hey Cardo," and your Pack Talk Bold will do the rest. Cardo makes some of the best communicators in the game, so you're not going to want to miss out on this giveaway. It's super easy to get entered. Head over to shop.yamanoob.co, pick out anything you want from our site, and you'll be automatically entered to win. This giveaway is open to all lower 48 states in the United States. There are no codes required, but the giveaway will last for only a week. This is one you don't want to miss out, but time is running out. Head over to shop.yamanoob.co and get entered to win. Since we're talking about dual-purpose motorcycles, now is as good time of any to bring the nod to the Honda Africa Twin. We're talking about parallel twin motorcycles, and I'll be darned if this twin is in the name. It must be proud of its parallel power plant. The Africa Twin is an adventure-style motorcycle that has been in production since 1988, where it was based on the Paris-Dakar winning NXR 750. Back in those days, it utilizes a V-twin engine, but since 2016, it has been powered by a parallel twin engine. When it was first revamped, it used the 1000cc twin, but post-2020, it makes use of a slightly larger 1086cc twin. This is the same engine you'll find in the Rebel 1100, which is a really good motorcycle that is a contender for the crowned position as the most formidable modern bobber. But that conversation is for another video. And actually, we've made that video and have plenty of Rebel 1100 content on the channel, so go back and search out for that if you want the full scoop. So back to the Africa Twin. The Africa Twin uses the same 270-degree parallel twin engine as mentioned a second ago with 1084cc displacement, is making around 100 horsepower and 77 foot-pounds of torque. The Africa Twin is pretty capable off-road as well, which it better be considering its technical name is the CRF 1100L, implying that it has the same dirt bike roots as the rest of the CRF motorcycles from Honda. Like any good adventure motorcycle, the Africa Twin comes in a few different trim options, has as many tech as any aging ADV dad could ask for. This motorcycle even has the option to come with Honda's automatic DCT transmission, which made up an astonishing 47% sales in 2020. DCT sexuals seem to be right at home in the adventure touring space. The middleweight naked bike category has plenty of parallel twin motorcycles, but only a few bikes tickle the hypothalamus in the way a KTM Duke 890 does. The Duke 890 has an 889cc parallel twin that makes about 120 horsepower and 73 foot-pounds of torque. KTM really set out to make the Duke 890 the most aggro naked bike in the segment. It is lightweight and nimble, weighing just over 400 pounds wet. This bike has been praised for handling more like a super sport motorcycle than a naked bike and has been coined the scalpel by KTM's marketing team, probably alluding to just how often the former Duke 790 had to go under the knife for serious engine work. Just kidding. KTM seems to have sorted out their QC gremlins over the last few years. The Duke 890 has all the same farkles KTM likes to put on their bikes, like a TFT dash, ride mode, switchable ABS, and an optional bi-directional quick shifter from the factory. This motorcycle is pretty quick, pretty aggressive, and slathered in orange. If you're drinking the KTM Kool-Aid, you've probably already felt the scalpel pierce your heart. If you aren't actively laying on your stomach on your bed, feet up in the air, and fondly flipping through the KTM Power Parts catalog while talking on the phone with your closest girlfriends, maybe you need to ride a KTM Duke 890 and see what the fuss is all about. So it seems that after 7 years of making fun of Harley-Davidson on this YouTube channel, they finally got the memo and decided to take the air-cooled Evo Sportster out to the shed for a good long nap. Where does that leave riders who want a slow, air-cooled bike that relies on charm and character instead of performance? Well, as you may have heard in some other videos, I recently really liked the 650cc bikes from Royal Enfield, and they have the ability to become the new standard for rumbly, air-cooled retro bikes. Royal Enfield will likely never have the power and omnipresent brand that Harley-Davidson has, but there are still plenty of younger riders on a budget coming into the motorcycle space that will gravitate towards these retro-style bikes. And the 650cc engines in the Royal Enfield motorcycles, like the Interceptor 650 and Continental GT, are really pretty nice for what they are. They are super low maintenance, bulletproof, air-cooled engines with a 270-degree crank that sound pretty great and evoke some ethereal sensations you don't get from a lot of modern motorcycles. Both the Interceptor and Continental GT use an air-cooled 648cc parallel twin engine that makes about 47 horsepower and 38 foot-pounds of torque. But these classic air-cooled bikes are pretty easy to work on, so order a few S&S parts and recruit some buddies to help, and you can squeeze quite a bit more juice out of this engine after a little bit of work. I truly think that Royal Enfield 650s have earned a rightful place as one of the best parallel twin motorcycles available today, as long as you have your expectations in check. And no, I don't think they're a meme anymore. They're pretty decent. I still think the 350s are a bit of a meme, sorry. And lastly, we have a few parallel twin motorcycles coming to the market soon that are too new or have earned an equivocal consensus on value or quality, so they get put onto the end of the video. Honda has a new Hornet 750. It has a 755cc parallel twin engine. This bike is clearly gunning for the MT07 inspired naked bike market and takes many design cues from that Yamaha lineage. The Hornet is claimed to make 90 horsepower and 55 foot-pounds of torque. This engine uses a 270-degree firing order as well for added character and revs pretty high. It is rumored that Honda plans to use this engine across a whole range of motorcycles, just as Yamaha did with their parallel twin engine by putting it in smaller adventure bikes and a fully fared sport bike. And in the wake of the parallel twin pandemonium, Suzuki finally made a new bike. Geez, that's what it took to get them off their butts. The GXX-8S is, as you guessed it, a 270-degree parallel twin naked bike. This bike is claimed to make 82 horsepower and 52 foot-pounds of torque, so pretty close to on par with the Hornet 750. Will this bike suck? Will it be great? It's hard to say, but it's cool to see Suzuki get with the program regardless of being a little late to the party. For the sake of making a video about parallel twin motorcycles, it felt appropriate to mention some bikes that will be carrying 270-degree torque into a new era. Are parallel twins really better than V-twins? Or are you a masochist who wants a 400cc inline 4 with a 15k RPM redline? Let me know down below in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Fact: the green code in the Matrix was actually created from symbols in the code's designer's wife's sushi cookbook. Goodbye. Well, look at you. You've made it to the end of another Yami Noob video. You should consider yourself pretty lucky because I have curated this one right over here for you to continue watching. It's probably just as good as the one you just saw. Unless you hated the one you just saw. I don't know, maybe leave me a comment down below about how much you hated it as well too. Or just keep watching this one. Make sure you keep watching Yami Noob. Don't forget to keep watching Yami Noob. That's the most important thing. Keep watching Yami Noob.